starting with Tyler Booker. He's a big man, clean, leader, captain, but he's a big man that moves big people. That's what you want up front. He's a true hog, all right, and takes pride in his ability. Going to be the leader of that offensive line. Then in their second round, all right, they took Donovan Ezeraku, like a South Jersey kid with an elite takeoff. If you want to win the 100-meter dash, you got to have a great takeoff. Like the 44th pick, I thought they got great value because a lot of people had him in the first round. But he's got an electric takeoff, and then he's got great bend. Like you watch him turn the corner right here. Like his hand's on the ground right there. He doesn't face plant. He's an elite athlete. 30 career sacks. Led the FBS this year with 16 and a half. Like he gets to the quarterback. All right? Now he's a true outside linebacker. Then they took Savone Ravel from East Carolina. All right? Now you watch him and exactly what you want at corner. Like he's a big corner. At 6'2", 197 pounds. Here he is. Cover 3, look right here. Tore his ACL in the 4th game. But here he is. And this is like he runs a 4.4 at 197. But watch the burst. The burst to take that ball away. And then to finish it in the, a house call right here. 50-yard touchdown. And then they took Jaden Blue from Texas. Like, they've had so many great backs at Texas. He only started a few games. But at 5'9" and 200 pounds, like he runs a 4.38. He's all about burst. He's all about quicks. But he also does this. Like there's a middle linebacker in a hole.
Boom.
He runs right through it.
Boom.
All right, here comes the safety right at him. And he's going to juke him. And that's all between the tackle. All right, Jaden Blue. It's a good draft by the Cowboys. I could go on and on. Those are 4 good selections right there.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's had a great Monday. It has been busy if you are, of course, a football fan right now, and there's so much to do. There's so much going on right now. The Cowboys are having an off season like they normally do not. Let's be clear here. This is a whole different team, and I want to focus in tonight on some of the changes that are being made right in front of our eyes. There's so much that's going on that it's hard to actually keep up with it. I want to go back, of course, to the Mike McCarthy era. Mike McCarthy era was interesting to say the least. That I'm not sure exactly how it was that we were successful with the Mike McCarthy era. I'm not trying to throw any shade on Mike McCarthy or anything like that, but quite frankly, think to yourself, what did the Dallas Cowboys do other than the NFL draft to try and help Mike McCarthy win? Mike McCarthy got here. As soon as he walked in the door, here's your offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore's your guy. He's going to run his offense and things, and, you're going to be the head coach. Basically, everything was spoon-fed to Mike McCarthy. He was basically the puppet, okay? When you had CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, who were great together, we had a little difference of opinion on the shot and everything else. And, Amari Cooper had a way of kind of going backwards towards the end of the season. He kind of checked out. Okay. Now that'll be the knock on Amari Cooper is he had a tendency to check out, and he had a bunch of injuries and things with us as well. But he didn't really show up that much when it came to playoffs. I want to show you guys something here that this is interesting because we haven't heard much from Mike McCarthy since him and the Dallas Cowboys parted until the Pat McAfee show. And I came across this earlier this evening and thought it was interesting because Pat McAfee, here's what you want to understand is the Dallas Cowboys, you move the needle. We all know that the Dallas Cowboys move the needle for everything that goes on. All you have to do is talk about the Cowboys, and that's going to get you plays. And you can look at the Shedeur Sanders, of course, because that's a tie-in with Deion Sanders, that they followed Shedeur Sanders and his fall, and they followed Shedeur Sanders with the prank call. Turns out there was a lot of players that were prank called that night. There were a lot of players that were prank called. But you would think that it was only Shedeur Sanders. And I'm not here to take a side on the Shedeur situation. You know, there's a lot of players that got drafted that should have never been drafted in the first round that end up being bust. There's a lot of guys that end up being drafted late that become Hall of Famers. It is all what a team wants and a team feels we can win with. If they see a guy that they can win with and they love it, then it's up to them. And there's no ifs, ands, but there's no law that says this is the guy. And I will say that having seen so many quarterbacks that were touted as great guys, great talents, the can't miss guys, and they seem to miss, that maybe some of the teams started getting fatigued and saying, I'm not really sure. Do I want to invest this or do I go in another direction? Because I can almost say, and this is crazy as it sounds, that you may be better off doing what the Rams did, which was build up a team and then let's go out and find a quarterback that we know that can play. We've seen teams that have said, you know, there's the quarterback that we want, and we've moved up and used a whole bunch of draft capital, and they miss on the quarterback, or they get the quarterback, and the quarterback gets beat, pulverized, a.k.a. Momo, your Washington Commanders, that they get shell-shocked and don't play. Not my problem. I got Dak Prescott. But this is really interesting from the reaction of Mike McCarthy.
It was
Tyler Booker from Bama, yeah, the guard.
Booker from Bama, guard. Okay, shout out to Tyler Booker getting drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. We have the man who coached the Dallas Cowboys literally last year and the previous 5 years, I believe, Coach McCarthy. They go with an offensive lineman here for the Dallas Cowboys in Shoddy's new tenure. Yep. Why do you think this pick was made, and what do you think about this pick?
Love the pick, Mel. So do I. Love the pick.
He loves the pick.
I'm telling you, man. No, seriously. If you had asked me who we'd be picking, this is the way I think it goes. I think, once again, a lot of conversations. It's an offensive line that is better today than it was, at the point last year, because they had 5 young offensive linemen play a ton of football next year. Now you're adding Tyler, so I think you're getting back to hopefully the good old days in Dallas with an excellent offensive.
What are your thoughts on Dallas Cowboys? You've told us over the last 24 hours, but obviously we haven't talked about it. When they're now up on the draft board, it's time to bring it up. It feels like you enjoyed your time in Dallas and you have no ill will at all. It feels like.
Not at all. I mean, I love my time in Dallas. I'm actually
surprised.
I'm getting to enjoy the city some of the last couple of months. So great city, phenomenal organization. Cannot say enough about Jerry and Gene and the Jones family. Super cool. Just the way you talk about a family organization, the way you talk about a close family. You guys are asking me, hey, what's Jerry like? And we talked about the landman. That's who he really is. The landman saint. I mean, so great time. I'm a better man.
I'm a better man.
When I went to Dallas.
That's awesome to hear.
No, I mean he's such a great family man. The football experience, looking to do it a different way. With the way my experience in Green Bay, so obviously that has benefited me some. And I'll just say in a professional sense, where you sit down and talk to Jerry about life, business, and things outside of football. It's an education, and I'm very thankful, to him and his family for the opportunity I had there.
Happy to hear that. We love watching your teams down there. The quarterback, Dak Prescott, takes a lot of heat because he's Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
That was really interesting. I play that. I know Mike McCarthy's got nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys now, but I find it was interesting because he didn't body slam us and say, screw it, they suck and all this, that, and the other. He actually seemed like, he's good. He's got peace with it. So while we're here, we got to say hello to Dirty Sanchez. What's up? What's up? What's up? Dirty, I want to know, are you dirtier than Shannon Sharp? That's what I want to know. I see Dina Dallas, Jiva here. What's up, Gina? Joe DeMassi's in the house. Marcus Blackman's in the house. Dwayne Sweeney's in the house. Lady Libra, what's up, lady? Lady is double dipping on both channels. Appreciate you. Lady Libra in the house. I see Jeff is here. What's up, Jeff? My name is Jeff. And Ward family taking care of the railroads out there. Derek Young, Marcus Blackman, Dan the Man Cunningham, Momo. Tape on a player is good, but oh my God. Momo, I think if I actually hear you say something good about something, I may fall out my chair. I may literally, you are Mr. Negativity. You know what? I hate that, man. I would rather in life look for the positives than steadily everything is, well, the tape looks good, but we'll see. Man, come on. Come on, man. Come on. See, I think the problem is for you, Momo, is you done written some checks that you might be worried about cashing. I think that's going to be the case. You might be worried about somebody trying to cash those checks. You talking about being number one in the division. You winning the NFC East, man. I think you might be a little worried, but that's just me. John Jones in the house. Them boys kicks. What's up? What's up? Appreciate the real fan won. Kellen Moore was a good coach for the Cowboys, though. A guy Mike McCarthy would have wanted, could have been. Well, I'm going to still debate on Kellen Moore. We're going to see what he does now that he's got his own team, what he does with New Orleans, okay? Alan Williams in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? I think I got all the lovely ladies in the place here early. I appreciate y'all being here. There are so many Dallas Cowboys YouTube channels out there, and everybody is out in full force, and I appreciate you all being here with the Joe Boo Sports Report. Okay, let's get into this. I've played this clip a couple times because it's actually pretty good because it's actually spot on. This was the 5-step program, okay, not to get off the weed or anything. Regina Green, what's up? The 5-step program to fixing the Dallas Cowboys. And I'd like to go back to this and see how many things we have actually crossed off from Bill Barnwell.
Cowboys history has opted to retire, sources told our Todd Archer. Martin met with owner and general manager Jerry Jones on Thursday to inform him of his decision. Martin was a 9-time Pro Bowl selection in 11 years with the Cowboys and first-team All-Pro.
Let's go, boobies. Logan Motorsport, what's up?
In some elite company with the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys lost one key player, but good news, salary cap expanding next season, of which Micah Parsons gave us the LFG when he, quote, tweeted our Dan Graziano. The cap will have increased by more than $53 million over the next 2 years. Okay, so we're going to play a game with Bill Barnwell, Fit the Bill. You're going to give us a 5-step plan for the Dallas Cowboys to fix them. I'm impressed you can do it in 5 steps. So fit the bill, starting with 1. Bill Barnwell, take it away.
Number 1, we are re-signing Micah Parsons. This one is easy.
Ain't done that yet.
One of the best defensive players in football, and we're actually going to reduce his cap hit from $24 million on his 5th-year option when we do re-sign Micah Parsons. You're starting there on the defense. Obviously, it's going to get a big contract, but you want to keep your stars around. Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons are
still got that to do.
Stars on the defensive side of the football. Number 2, we are moving to add some salary cap space here. We're going to restructure Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. This is going to create, this is not an exaggeration, this is going to create $60 million in cap space for the Cowboys. Those guys are sticking around. They're your core. Whether Cowboys fans like it or not, Dak Prescott's going to be there for years to come. Add the Micah Parsons restructure. We're looking at probably $65 million in cap space. That's a lot of money to work with. And we're going to
keep in mind, we're sitting at 37 with about another 12. So we've only spent about $16 million.
For the Cowboys. We are adding help at receiver.
Haven't done that one, so we got 2 things to do here.
CeeDee Lamb was taken in the 1st round. Their moves with the veterans. They moved on from Amari Cooper. They traded, or they got rid of a bunch of Brandon Cooks traded for. They got Michael Gallup and re-signed him. That didn't work. Adding a Deebo Samuel to the mix is a big body.
Went to the Skins.
The Cowboys have had
Commanders.
in their offense in several years. He's tormented the Cowboys himself. Deebo Samuel would be a great addition as the number 2, not the number 1, but the number 2.
But we're looking for that one.
To CeeDee Lamb. Number 4, the offensive line needs to be replenished now, especially.
There we go.
Zach Martin was retired.
We can check that one off.
Cowboys want to add a guy. Maybe they draft someone. Rico Dowdle's been good. 12th in rushing yards, 4.6 yards per carry last year. But there's a big hole in that offensive line, which is 27th in spending and cash next year. I would look at Trey Smith, that star Chiefs guard. A plug-and-play replacement for Zach Martin, a big body, a great run blocker in the interior. Cowboys teams have always been good when they have good offensive lines. And then you flip it. Number 5. This is not the sexiest option. But we're looking at the defensive line and that defensive tackle rotation. We're looking at pieces here who are going to help us in short yardage. Last year, the Cowboys were not just the
I think we've done I'm going to give that a half check.
4th worst red zone defense of the last decade. That's what happens when you cannot stop the run.
All right, we'll leave it right there. So, of those 5 things that they said, we've done some work on the defense, run stopping. We got a linebacker that'll help. We've got, of course, Easy is a great run stopper as well as pass rusher that's there. We've got some big men in the middle. Oh my God, we got a double wide, big booty, 2 zip code ass defensive tackle in there. We got speed at running back. And we got the offensive line. So Phil Barwell, if he actually knows anything, can actually get anything right, if his plan is correct, we've got 3 of the 5 things done. We're working on one of them, which is the wide receiver. And at some point, we know we will do Micah Parsons. The good news, he pointed out, if we ended up restructuring Dak and CD, we'd have about $65 million, which was true. And we have gone out, we have done signings, we have brought back Osa and Digazua, Kayvon Turpin, and things. We've gotten contracts in. We brought in 9 free agents in the free agency period. We held on to 10 of our guys, and we still sit here with $37 million with about another 12 coming. So we're in a good position now. We went into the draft, and we said we need offensive line. We said we need to do playmakers at running back. We said we needed help on the defense. We said we needed help in the cornerbacks. I'm going to dare say that I think that we may have potentially 3 starters. Potentially. Now, we got competition that's going all the way around. The thing that is the glaring weakness, Dare J. Lovely Linda. What's up, Linda? You the Eagles who are the ones at the White House today. Some of the Eagles, Linda, are at the White House today. Some of them are at the White House. I'm just saying, some of them are there. David and Heather. What's up, Heather? Dan the Man Cunningham. Eric Lackey. Don't have my glasses on. Wide receiver is the spot we did not address. I went into the draft and said, I think I would rather have a veteran wide receiver for the reason of I want to have a guy whose eyes aren't wide open, like a deer in the headlights. I would rather have a guy who's got some experience, who's ready to play right now and be a playmaker. If you remember how Michael Gallup's rookie season was, the first half, it was like the sale of 2 cities. First half was not really good. He came on in the second half. I need a guy from day one with the schedule that we have that's going to help separate the defense, that's going to spread the field. And that's where I'm okay with the veteran. I kind of said, if it's a choice between I have the wide receiver, the running back from college, a college running back, it's not going to have the wear and tear. You basically have about 4 years of time that you're going to get with him. And it's easier to plug in a young running back than it is a wide receiver. Follow me on that? Typically, like Miles Sanders, no disrespect to Miles Sanders, is going into a 6th year. If you look at his numbers, they're beginning to go downhill. If you look at Zeke Elliott, great early years. By year 4, that was the peak. He was going downhill. Now, that's not to say every single one is the case. I mean, we can look at Barkley, who went from a piss-poor team with the Giants to an Eagle team, and, of course, has his best season ever because he went to a better team. But typically, you don't have a long shelf life with running backs. That's why it's better to get them in the draft. Wide receivers, you see them as we have all these guys out here looking for teams that are in their 30s. They have a longer shelf life, and it takes longer to become a great receiver. James, love you too, buddy. Alan Walker, what's up? How are you doing? Asman 30, we need to introduce the new players to, oh my God, Pinks. Can you let Pinks go? Let Pinks go. All right, so Game Time in the house. Shout out to Game Time and Prime Time. They did an incredible job helping me get through the draft, and I got to say that life is better having Game Time and Prime Time as part of my friendship circle and here as partners in YouTube and things. I'm going to say that all the receivers that are out there, there's not a perfect match for the Cowboys. They all have a little bit of baggage or some warts. The question is which one fits in monetarily, attitude-wise, and ability. And to make things a little more interesting, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed Robert Woods, former Ram wide receiver. Still got some tires, some tread on the tires there, so to speak, which kind of gives the Steelers another wide receiver. And if Rashid was here, it would be, what? Why did we sign another wide receiver? We ain't got a freaking quarterback. Which kind of makes George Pickens, a little more expendable. Now, the advantage of George Pickens is he's pretty much the youngest one of the available ones, names that you know. He is a possession receiver. He's good size and everything else, and he may be expendable for the Steelers. We heard the rumors that the Cowboys were talking to AFC North team about a potential wide receiver trade before the draft. Well, that could be George Pickens. George Pickens, who stopped following the Steelers, I believe, after the first night in the draft, so I think he was thinking he was going to be traded. I don't know if he's restarted following them or not, but that would be a guy to get. The negative on George Pickens, and he's only 24, I believe, is locker room possibly issues that some people say that he may be a little bit of a loose cannon. Okay. That's one guy. Amari Cooper. All right, so we've had all of the rumors earlier. It's like a wildfire. You hear that the Cowboys have had internal discussions about Amari Cooper, and then it's just like a wildfire. Okay, it just goes crazy. And I've learned something here, and Game Time will probably back me up on this too. Is check with Jane Slater. Check with Jane Slater and see her take on it, because she's kind of poo-pooed some of the rumors that have been out there, like the Courtland Sutton one, because we heard that Denver might be interested in trading Courtland Sutton, and she was kind of like, she always throws, she always bitch slaps us. She's always breaking our hearts when we get all excited. Oh my God, we're going to get, no, not going to happen. I don't understand why the pretty ones always break your heart. Why is that? Okay, so you have Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, advantage is he knows Dak and CD and the Cowboys organization. He even said he wouldn't mind, I think this was a month ago, he wouldn't mind going back to the Cowboys, but he threw in a Jerry Jones-ism. It needs to be mutual that they want me back. Of course, they're not going to have you back if they don't want you, though, right? Well, I mean, we don't want you back. Okay, I'm coming back. No, come on. Thank you, Captain Obvious. He said he wants it to be mutual. He wants to go back with a coach that he's familiar with and stuff, and that organization. And probably after going to Siberia, which was the Cleveland Browns for all those years, where the Cowboys literally shun him, you probably look back at the Cowboys and say, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Now, again, the problem with Amari Cooper is he had a great season 2 years ago, last year with the Browns, which were dysfunctional. Let's be clear. It wasn't exactly, great times with the Browns offense and things, that they were worse than us. That's why they had the number 2 pick. Only had about 250 yards or so. He gets traded to Buffalo, and you say, ooh, he's going to be with Josh Allen. The Josh Allen connection wasn't like the original Dak Prescott Amari Cooper connection. If you remember when we originally got Amari Cooper, we were 3-5 and second ass. Amari Cooper came in here, and instantly with Dak Prescott, they got on the same page. It turned the season around, and we came from behind, and won the division. You kind of thought with Josh Allen and his skills that the same thing would happen. Now, I don't believe that Amari Cooper is the same receiver that we let go after the 21 season. I don't. He is definitely better than everybody but CeeDee Lamb on our roster. He would definitely make us better. The knock, of course, on him, and the thing that was kind of interesting to me was the price tag, Sports Track, values him at $17 million per year. I'm not sure that I mean, I guess Cooper Kupp got $15 million a year. Cooper Kupp got $15 million a year, and he's been injured the last 3 years. So then again, I guess the going rate is the going rate. I guess 17 is a lot less than the 21 when he went out the door. Be that as it may, his numbers are down considerably from when he was here with the Cowboys. He had close to 600 yards last year, but that would be better than Brandon Cooks. The other part I will say on this is there were times that it seemed like Amari Cooper had checked out, and it was usually late in the season and as we got towards playoffs. And so that would be my concern about having Amari Cooper. Tyreek Hill is a possibility to be traded for, although their GM kind of said, yeah, for 2 number 1s. But he's got off-the-field issues, and you wonder, is this a guy that is going to be a team killer? $30 million a year is what his contract is currently, and I'm sure he's not looking to take too much of a pay cut since he just got 5 new baby mamas while he's married this year. So you kind of wonder, dude, why? Why? I don't know about you, but I remember Michael being in diapers. I'd be damned if I want to have 5 kids in diapers at the same time. You know, it's cute when they're first born. Oh, look at the baby. Oh, he pooped, he pooped. And then after a few months, that stuff starts to stink. So you look and say, no, let's crash. Tyreek Hill, no. Courtland Sutton. Oh, and you got to give up draft capital. Courtland Sutton. It was interesting because I saw an article from Denver. I can't remember the draftee that they got, but they're saying the Courtland Sutton replacement. That's what they're calling him. Courtland Sutton, 29 years old, last year of his deal, kind of expensive, but had a really good year. In fact, I will say he had a great year last year, and he would be a big body possession receiver that probably would work well in our offense. You don't know what Denver's looking for. They have tried to trade him for a number of years, and apparently the Cowboys were actually talking. This came out today. The Cowboys were talking to them about a possible trade for him, but still, Denver's price was too high. There's still a relationship between Sean Payton and the Dallas Cowboys. Walker Wade, who's actually feeling better. And Jay Smoove, I forgot to get Jay Smoove as a new channel member. Shout out to Jay Smoove and Walker Wade. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Whoa. Oh my God. Hold up. Oh shit. Is this the real Walker Wade? This can't be the real Walker Wade. We're going to be just fine this year, Mark? Wait a minute. This is the guy, Walker Wade. who literally just said, we sucked so bad last year, we're going to be going through hell for years. And now Walker Wade is now saying we're going to be fine. Well, yes, there is Isaiah Bond out there. YouTube user 52, shout out to you. Welcome to the chat. There is Isaiah Bond, but there is the legal issues that are right there. And we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys that are looking at having character guys. So you look at that and say that may not be the fit. Isaiah Bond's got some talent. He's a free agent. He literally undrafted would be a ham sandwich cost-wise, but there is the character issues and things. And that's not to say that he doesn't get the things worked out and the case is dropped or resolved and things, kind of like what happened with La'el Collins. You'll remember La'el Collins, there were questions about him because an ex-girlfriend of his was killed at her home, and the police talked to them, and so all the NFL teams kind of said, okay, let's stay away from this situation until it gets cleared. Once it was cleared, Jerry Jones pounced. So, yes, there is Isaiah Bond out there, but don't look for the Cowboys to do anything with that unless it gets resolved. And the thing with Isaiah Bond is he's a local guy. So the Cowboys know the police department. It's real easy for them to do an investigation. And also, let me put out there, too, Amari Cooper actually has a house in Dallas, too. Amari Cooper is also local. So they don't have to fly him in. They can pick up the phone and say, come on by and see us. Now, I don't know if that's helpful or not because Derrick Henry had 2 houses in Dallas and we didn't talk to him at all. And we had Von Miller, regardless. Okay. George Pickens, we talked about Amari. And then there's Keenan Allen, another veteran, former Charger, another guy who is older. Another guy that's going to be between the $15 and $20 million range. We've talked about Keenan Allen would definitely be an upgrade. Heck, right now, a ham sandwich might be an upgrade. And those are the basic ones right there. There's Baltimore, is it Blackman? Wide receiver there. That's a possibility as well. I could see it, Willie, but I'd like somebody better, and at least it wouldn't cost us a pick. Well, if we're talking about not costing a pick, it would be Keenan Allen, it would be Amari Cooper, or Isaiah Bond. Those are the best ones out there that are free agents at the moment. Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is also out there as well. That wouldn't be a bad one, so we'll see. But at least we know Bateman, that's it. Yeah, Bateman. I said Blackman. Bateman, you're right. Rashad Bateman. Thank you, David Cowboy. Here's the thing with the Cowboys. We know we didn't do jack last year, and this is why Walker Wade is definitely turned over leaf and saying we're okay. The fact that we've gone through the draft and they're right now saying we can find a receiver. No, not normally where they're looking and saying, oh, we'll find somebody at training camp. That they're out here right now working on this. That is a major, major change for the Dallas Cowboys. The fact that they're actually trying to put the whole team together right now is a miracle. We are constantly, we're looking for value. Have you heard Catboy say we like to get the value adds here? Those guys that have position flex that can play multiple positions, and that way they can cover 2 spots. And we only have to give them 1 check. We cover 1 check, they cover 2 spots. It's a win for us without a doubt. They haven't been talking about that. When he said selectively aggressive, you actually have to say that the Cowboys have been aggressive. And the amazing thing is the change within the organization subtly. Because let's be clear here. Mark is my dog. Thanks, James. Coyote in the house. What's up? Randy McGuire, how are you doing? Alan Williams passing. I agree, pass on Bond. And I'm going to say pass on Tyreek Hill, too. As good as Tyreek Hill is, I got to say pass on that guy because I'm not trying to give up that much draft capital, pay a head case, and how many babies mamas is he going to make in Dallas this year? Okay, that's all right. That's enough, man. I don't need any more reality shows. But have you noticed we have changed the type of personnel on this team? D-Law, who got bitch slapped, let's be clear, he got bitch slapped by Micah Parsons, who was always talking about we're soft, and things, right? He talked about, we soft and we doing this, that, and the other. But you're the team leader out there. How come we didn't change when you kept saying we were soft and needed to change? Ward family, what's up? What's up? How are you doing? Spare the Dallas girls. Oh, man. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? I'm doing incredible because we got 300 people in the house. We have almost 100 likes in the house. You could be anywhere, but you choose to be here, and I thank you. Okay, so thinking about this a little more, we got a guy who came in and immediately wasn't scared. Hunter Jules, what's up? Hunter Jules, what's going on? Welcome to the chat tonight. He ain't scared. He immediately went into cell block C and looked for the biggest thug out there and hit him upside the head. You understand that, right? See, I'm going to tell you, growing up, I'm going to give you a little story here, okay? Because this is out to my dad. Growing up, 1970. If you remember the Titans, you saw the Alexandria T.C. Williams High School. They were integrating. That was when I was going to elementary school, and we just integrated schools. Okay, and I kept getting bullied. I'd go home, and my dad said, "What's wrong?" and stuff, and I said, "Man, I'm getting, I keep getting, beat up and called names. They kept calling me the N-word left and right and this, that, and the other." And so we went to the school with my dad. My dad's explaining all this, that, and the other. And I said, "Well, Mr. Holmes, kids will be kids, it's just the way it is." My dad turned to me and said, "Okay, they don't want to handle this." He said, "You pick up a brick or a stick and you knock the biggest one of them upside the head, and I guarantee you won't have a problem from then on." Chris May, shout out to Chris May with the super chat. Appreciate you. And that's exactly what Tyler Booker did right here. Let's go to the tape. I love this.
Well, why don't we bring in Tyler Booker? Yeah, you can talk to him.
I love this. I absolutely love this. Eagle fans, they're butthurt.
So much energy out there. Tyler Booker from Alabama. Congratulations, Micah.
Tyler Bookie.
Hey, Book, first of all, the one thing I said off rip, I said the energy you running up the joint, I said that's the type of rip we needed. That's the energy I need you to bring to the locker room. I ain't seen somebody that excited since me. I jumped in the commissioner's arms, dog. That's what's up, man. Welcome to America's team. Yes, I can't wait to see you and our other Tyler be as dominant as can be. Free range. But, hey, man, your boy don't. Hey, take it easy on me in practice, man. You just need me out there for Sundays. That's all I ask.
I mean, we got to get better at some point, so we'll figure it out.
Kid, I'm going to push you to the limits. Don't even worry about it. I'll get you right at kid. Don't worry about it.
Let's do it.
All them veins come out there. You too excited, ain't it? Hey, I need somebody for Jalen Carter. Hey, you going to humble Jalen Carter?
Yeah. I'm just excited to get to work.
Hey, let's get it, bro.
Let's be a Cowboy.
Hey, we can't wait to see the locker room, dog. Hey, just come ready to work. Shotty, he putting together a great team, just about competing, just being dogs. We're going to welcome you with open arms because it started up front. We're going to make each other better every week, every day, so let's get it.
For sure, man. Excited to get to work, man. Appreciate you.
Tyler, I got a question for you. You had one of my favorite quotes of the entire draft process. You said, quote, "I make guys not love football anymore." What does it feel like to see the love of football leave someone's eyes?
Ooh.
It feels great, like football is a child's game. So like people wake up, be like, "Man, I can't wait to play this football game today." They listen to their hype music, they take all the pre-workout, they get so excited to play football. until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you just got me right. Hey, he got me ready to go. I ain't gonna lie. He got me ready to go.
Bro, I'm going to play right now.
I love that.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
Play after play, quarter after quarter.
Hey, man. Welcome to the team. Yeah. He had me ready to go there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shit. Renner, you got something for him? That might be a
Tyler, so
walk-up.
you played mainly on the left side. You played a little bit of right guard freshman
Yes.
year. How comfortable you feel on the right guard? Because I think they're pretty set on the left side there with Tyler Smith.
As Coach Wolf would say, it's sleepy. Like it's something you can do in your sleep, man. Like during my freshman year, I would do 2 drives at left guard and 2 drives at right guard. So shout out to Coach Saban and Coach Wolf for getting me ready for this moment to be able to play anywhere. And they always taught me the best ability is availability. So
Amen.
whether it's at left tackle, left guard, center, like I'm going to be willing and able to do that.
Man, Tyler Booker, you got us pumped up, man. From Alabama to the Dallas Cowboys. Heck of a ride, man.
Roll Tide.
Congratulations.
Oh, no, not a roll tide. Boo.
Have a good night.
I love that. To have him on this team, you have to understand that we went from being soft, and we went from a team that we talked about greetings people from, oh, Lordy. Anyway, we went from a team that we talked about culture issues. Y'all remember that, right? The Dallas Cowboys have culture issues. And it seems to be with the type of people that we brought in here, because you got Tyler Booker, of course, is talking smack, but he was also a team captain and a team leader. And we've known that we've got a culture problem of guys that seem to get punched in the mouth and they back down. That they're front runners. That when we winning, we can't do that anymore. But you know what I mean? We're lion crawling. We're doing the first down move and everything else. We partying on the sideline. We jumping into the kettle and stuff. But then when shit hits the fan, we get kind of soft. Dallas Cowboy Diva, what's up? I think we're changing that. As we put all these pieces together, Micah Parsons kind of letting you know the bullshit's not going to be tolerated.
For me, it's all about setting the tone about what the locker room is, man. We ain't going to put over nothing. We ain't going to tolerate the dumb stuff that was going on. Like I said, it's a new regime, new culture. I'm not saying that, other guys weren't culture builders, but, some things are just tired. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if something ain't working, it's good that you got new guys to fix it. I'm just happy that, me, CD, Dak, and, Dak kind of been through 2 generations, but, just a new regime. Like, guys going to get closer, we're going to relate, It's just kind of hard, like when you got a bunch of guys that are here and they're older. You know what I mean? They're more your highest paid players, and it's hard to get that relationship. But now we've all came in together, established this relationship. We're all around the same age, and we all hang out way more. So, like you saw us working out together. That's not something that I've seen or been a part of here in the past, unless you went to OTAs. So just things like that, meeting up, working out together, boxing together, things like that, things that we're going to start building a camaraderie.
You're here, Andre.
Yeah, I think I'll still be around. For me, like I said, I still got to learn the playbook. And I'm not so much of a iPad person where I can just keep learning. Like, I got to walk through it. You know what I mean? Maybe so much I might not be on the field part of it, but I'll be there learning so that way I'm at the.
So we got a changing of the guard here. And this is where you wonder, with what the Cowboys have done as far as the oldest people on this roster, Dak Prescott and Dante Fowler. If there's somebody older, I'm not remembering who it is. Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, D-Law were the oldest guys pretty much on the roster. I can't wait to see when this roster is put together where we line up as far as age on a roster. I think we've actually moved up at being one of the younger teams. Mark Hutton says Cowboys talking with Pittsburgh regarding Pickens. Yeah, you got to figure they're talking to them, that they're probably also talking to Courtland Sutton and things, that they're still keeping Amari Cooper in their back pocket. They are actively on a mission to get another weapon for Dak Prescott. And understand, we did great in the draft, at least on paper. You don't know how everybody's going to work out, but you look at the places that we got players by their rankings of where people think they were going to be, and there's no guarantee they were going to be where they think they were going to be. You know, there's always a Johnny Manziel who literally is out of the league in a couple of years. But at least on paper, when you looked at the need that the Cowboys had and the ability, I feel a hell of a lot more excited about Tyler Booker than I did about Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton was kind of like, yeah, man, we got Tyler. No, Tyler Booker, you look at that and you see his confidence. He looks like he's ready to play and is excited about being here. I never got that feeling ever from Tyler Guyton. It's kind of like, I hope I'm wrong, because our offensive line, the biggest question mark right now is Tyler Guyton. And if he can't play, that shakes everything up. If he can come out and be above average tackle, we are in great shape. But it's really on him, as they put it. But the vibe I get from him, I don't want to say it's exactly Taco Charlton, but I feel like there's something. You don't see the joy in his face that he's happy about being there. You know, when you really love football, man, you're excited to be out there in practice. You're excited to be out there playing. You are, you know, like my man said, people love the game. And that's now a new category that teams are kind of putting in there. Does this guy really love football? Some people are just naturally good at football, and they don't love it. Oh, it's something I'm good at and I can make a whole bunch of money at. A lot of people have a job that they're good at that they can't stand, but I got to pay the bills. And that's where you wonder, is the desire there for Tyler Guyton? I definitely see it there with Booker. And to go over there and to basically, you know, tap on the gorilla, the thug, you better be ready to rock and roll. You better be ready to rock and roll. And I'm excited about that, because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. All right, so let's get into the picks that we had here. I'm still amazed because nobody usually has anything good to say about the Cowboys. And the worst rating I can find is a B-. That's the worst one. The fact that Pro Football Focus gave us an A+, I am stunned. I watched, it was a Pro Football Focus podcast, and they had Chris Collinsworth on there. And I'm kind of wondering, what the hell is Chris Collinsworth literally said, I'd worry about him pass blocking. You know, if I'm Dak Prescott and, you know, he's a good running, you know, he's a good, you know, blocking tackle, but I'd worry. And I was looking at his rankings, and it was like he was way higher in his pass blocking. Sometimes I feel like some of them just pull shit out their rear end. So, Tyler Booker, Zach Martin's replacement, left a hole in the Cowboys offensive line, of course. Booker was the 48th ranked prospect on the big board. Profile says a bit of a reach. Was it a reach? He was probably the second highest guard. So when you say 48th prospect, okay, I get what they're saying, that if you take all of them and put them in order, he's 48th. But, you know, we're not looking at quarterback. How many of those were quarterbacks? How many of those were safeties? How many of those were edge rushers? How many of those were, offensive tackles? And so on. What the Cowboys always like to do is they like to get the best prospect at a position. And they got that in a position where they have a need. And apparently they don't believe in Brock Hoffman as much as the rest of us do, that they're worried a little bit about, maybe we need an upgrade here. And I ain't mad about that at all. The interesting part on this was we heard Brian Schottenheimer basically say that it's going to be the best 5 starting. And you can look at this and say, if Tyler Guyton is not better than where he was last year, if he is not better than he was last year, then you could go ahead and say possibly you have you could go ahead and kick Tyler Smith out to left tackle. You could use Akeem Richards depending on how well he plays. You could go ahead and possibly go ahead and move Tyler Booker to the left where he played naturally and have Brock Hoffman play over there, or possibly have Brock Hoffman as your center and Cooper Beebe as your guard. And we literally have, I believe, 17 offensive linemen on the roster. So you're going to have, you're not keeping all of them. You're going to have these guys busting an ass trying to get a spot and a starting position on here. If it ends up being, this would be the ideal situation. We believe that Brock Hoffman, I think Game Time, I'd like to hear, Lola, Miss Hot Sauce, welcome. Oh. The Heat are getting that ass smacked. Ooh, damn. If it ends up being that we think that Brock Hoffman is good enough to start and we have him as a backup, we are golden, people. We are golden. That would be, I would be happier than a pig in mud, okay? It would literally be just unbelievable. When I was in Dallas with Game Time and Prime Time, watching the Eagles literally kick our teeth in and take our lunch money. My dad was literally there telling me pick up a brick and knock one of them upside the head. I mean, literally, it was that bad. It was flashbacks to elementary school, getting my butt kicked. Law Nation said it perfectly. Shout out to Law. He said the Cowboys never draft to compliment. They only draft to replace. And no truer words have been spoken. Because last year's draft was Tyron Smith's gone, let's get Tyler Guyton. Biotis is gone, let's get Cooper Beebe. Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong are gone, let's get Marshawn Nealon, and we got Sam Williams that is going to fill in. You couldn't look at any piece that we drafted and said, that's an improvement over what we had before. It is, we are filling in the space of what we have. So this offseason, people seems to forget we brought back Dante Fowler. And for everybody that thinks that EZ's going to be a starter, I'm not sure about that just yet. You got Dante Fowler, who had 10.5 sacks last year. Dante Fowler. Help me, Rhonda. What's up, Rhonda? Look, Gina. They kicked our teeth in, they stole our lunch money, and they kicked sand in our face. They beat, literally, they beat the hell out of us. I was never so happy to leave Dallas in my life, okay? Literally. They didn't even bring the baby oil, okay? They didn't even bring the baby oil when they took care of us. EZ, some people had a first round grade on him. Some people believe that he was the best pass rusher out there. He is a compliment to Micah Parsons. I don't know how he's going to come out the box because he's a little bit small. He could definitely, easy. I got some pulled pork for you, man. Okay, I got some bang bang shrimp sliders so you can put some little extra weight on. But he can get around the edge, and if he can play, if he can translate what he was able to do in college to the NFL, and have Mike on the other side, and then you all of a sudden have Osa Ndigazua. Right there, you're going to be able to put on some serious pressure. And if we can just get Mozzie to take another step in the right direction, he doesn't have to be Jalen Carter. It'd be great if he was. Yes, Mark, they did. We definitely got some payback, Gina. It was ugly. It was so ugly there. But we definitely are a better defense right now, for sure, than we were last year. And see, Sam Williams, who has been kind of the baby Randy Gregory without the weed, he's going to be back fully. I got love for you and Tracy. Thank you, Rhonda. Tomorrow, we'll be back at the Red Brick House, and she'll be doing your shirt. I don't know if she sent you, this girl loves the Cowboys, with your cartoon character. I don't know. I hope I didn't spoil the surprise. That thing is cool. That thing is nice. In fact, Lola, Gina, I need y'all to send me a picture. All the ladies in here, email me a picture of yourself so that way we can work on getting this girl loves the Cowboys shirt. We back, baby. We back. Actually believing in the Cowboys just a little bit. We're cautiously optimistic about the Cowboys. But if EZ, and that's my name for him, I ain't trying to pronounce his name anymore. And I see, you all know, I've been saying EZ for a couple of days now. Y'all my witness, right? Y'all my witness. Mike Fisher's calling him EZ too. He's calling him EZ now, okay? Ravel, we talked about Ravel before the draft, and there were some rumors that the Cowboys might take him in the second round. And you know my thought is, how do you feel about Mozzie? Will he be pushed or improved? One, he improved as the season went on. And so as you have better players around you, it helps you more and more be better yourself. And that's the point of having somebody who can get around the edge. If EZ can get around the edge like Micah Parsons, because when you have Micah Parsons, think about this for a second. Just think about this for a second. We've seen the pictures where Micah Parsons is being double teamed and having, guys around his neck, right? If Micah Parsons is getting double teamed, right? You got 5 offensive linemen, maybe you got a tight end or a running back. We've seen times where Micah Parsons has been triple teamed. So at most, you have 7 blockers. But typically, you only have 5. If Micah Parsons is taking on 2 of those guys and being held where it should be a flag, that means there's another 3 guys to go against 3 guys. One of them guys needs to be winning one-on-one. Hey, bro, I'm taking one of those guys that could be double teaming you. Get your ass up the field and take care of business. This is the thing that drives me crazy is we got a guy who demands double team. You can't block him with the tight end. Anybody that tries that is stupid. We've seen him take the 49ers tackle and literally throw him on the ground. We've seen him being held by 2-3 guys and still getting to the quarterback. He's doing the lion's share. You need the other guys on the other side to do the same thing, because maybe he's not able to get there when he's double teamed and triple teamed. But if you get a push in the middle or you get that out there, one of those guys should be getting a sack. One of those guys should be getting a sack. And that's where you look at this and say, yeah, easy will definitely help. Now, Savon Ravel, again, this is another guy people are penciling in and saying he's going to be a starter. I'm going to say pump the brakes on that one because we don't know if he's going to start training camp on the PUP list. He's definitely big. He's got the speed. We've seen him working out on the exercise bike right now after the ACL injury, running 21 miles an hour. Typically, that would have been the second-round pick that we would have had, and, second-round picks, for whatever reason, have not been great for us in recent history. But he's got some time to hopefully get himself together before the season goes, but definitely is going to be a big part of this defense. And Jaden Blue, I love Jaden Blue's speed. Boobies Jeff must be in here. Oh, Pamela Savage, what's up? Savon Ravel, man, is going to be beast. And then Jaden Blue, he is so damn fast. The way he was juking in some of these plays, when you start looking at the films and the highlights of him, he is going to be great. We're going to end up having basically running back by committee. I can't pronounce his last name. Our power back, Mafa. Mafa is an absolute positive, I'm going to run through you guy. And he's gotten like 3.25 yards after contact last year. He's 6'2", about 220 pounds. And when he hits you, he's going to hit you. Really, Drew, not even close. So I'm feeling good about this team right now. I don't know how you're feeling. I'm feeling like we're changing the culture. I feel that Brian Schottenheimer is the coach and he is really in charge, and that the Cowboys organization, for the first time since, I'm going to say, Bill Parcells, it feels like they're working with a coach and trying to give him what he needs. There's hope. I'm not going to be up here saying, pencil us in as Super Bowl contenders. I'm not going to be here doing, look, Mike over there laughing. I'm not over here saying that kind of stuff. Not at all. But we're definitely headed in the right direction. And we're definitely, Lisa, how are you doing, Lisa? We're definitely headed in the right direction. And we are definitely better than where we were last year. That's all we got. And that's all you can hope for. Blue hasn't played a down of football, and he's better than Pollard. I didn't say he was better than Pollard. See, Drew, don't be putting stuff in my mouth. I know how nasty you Eagle fans are. I know how you try to put some shit in my mouth. No, I never said anything that he's better than Tony Pollard. He's a Tony Pollard type of back. He's got the speed like him. We'll see if he is or isn't. See, I don't know why you aren't over with your team that was just at the White House, enjoying that you are celebrating your Super Bowl. For some reason, I guess they just don't like you, Drew. You got to hang over here and try and feel better hanging with Cowboy fans. That's pretty sad, man. We got 2 running backs. Coop's not washed. He was cooking Stingley and Porter with a bad quarterback. Yeah. Kiss my feet, Drew. All right. Well, with that being said, we've already used up our time, and there's so many YouTubers out there that want to use the YouTube. So I'm going to let them youngins get in here and take care of business. Shout out to our new channel member that is Jay Smooth. Jay Smooth, email me, cowboysmark94@gmail. Thank everybody for all the super chats. And keep the faith. Keep the faith. Drew, you might be a man of the people, not these Cowboys people. But I'm sure some people, not these ones. Alrighty, good people. As always, I appreciate y'all. And hopefully, sometime soon, we'll hear about the Cowboys getting another wide receiver.
I've eaten a lot of raccoon. Yes. The answer is yes. And I've eaten it hunting. I've actually had it served by my mom at the table away from honey. And I have eaten raccoon. And yes, it's not uncommon at all. I'll tell you something.
Shout out to Coyote.
Is one of my favorites is squirrel, and it's wonderful. And my mother could do a great job of it. And we all had our favorite pieces. And my dad and sister, I have one sibling, a sister, and they would fight over, not fight, but my mom and I, they were just my sister and I as far as siblings. My mom and I wouldn't even ask for the brain in a squirrel.
Oh, man. Oh.
And delicious, seriously.
My dad loves cow
my
brain.
sister always got it, or my dad.
The fight over the brain.
The fight over the brain. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coyote, for the super chat, and we'll see you soon.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.